Hey fellas, back again. So I know I haven't done a video in a while, but now I've created this tier list of like popular masculinity influencer guys, and so I'm going to be ranking them because I'm a professional, and my opinion is worth listening to for some reason. Okay, anyway, here we go. I think first on this list we're gonna do Andrew Tate, the top G himself. Now, Andrew Tate, of course, in the past, especially for me, especially from a Christian perspective, a lot of his stuff is just obviously like degenerate. He's talking about just being with like a ton of different women and money will solve all your problems and all that stuff. Lately, he still seems to have kind of that mentality, but in certain ways, he seems to be um, sort of changing. He's, I mean, it could be fake too, but he seems to have been better. I watched an interview of him and Candace Owens, and he seemed pretty good in that. I mean, obviously he's still a Muslim. So, as of right now, I'm going to put Andrew Tate in the says some true things category. I think that's a fair place to put him. All right, next up, we're gonna do a guy who's lesser known. Bjorn, and I don't know how to say this. Please forgive me. Andreas Bolhansen, I believe. Anyway, he is again not a Christian. He's a Norse pagan. His stuff is pretty good. He makes like bushcraft content and history content regarding the Vikings and his culture. And that stuff is good. And then lately he's been talking a lot about masculinity, and pretty much everything he says is on point. So I am gonna put him, if not in the wise category, and I would almost call him a wise guy. I think I'll put him in says true things, yeah. So some of you guys, let me take a drink. Some of you guys may have heard of Sneeko. Sneeko, this guy. About Sneeko. So I had to research these guys, right, before I made this video. Sneeko seems like an overgrown kid who's trying to be Andrew Tate, but isn't. And yeah, he's said some true things. And I haven't really done a whole lot of research on him. And because of that, I'm going to be gracious and give him an honorary degenerate scum category. Alright, next up we have Dree Dexler. Now this guy, I haven't watched a whole lot of his content either. Heard really good things from some of my friends about this guy. He professes to be a Christian, which cannot be said of everybody else on the list so far. And his stuff in terms of masculinity seems pretty good, really. I've heard really positive things, and from what I've heard about him, I'm gonna put him in says true things. All right. Next, after Andrew Tate, we'll do Tristan Tate. Now Tristan, unlike Andrew, from what I understand, he professes to be a Christian, whereas Andrew professes to be a Muslim. So overall, his manner seems better than Andrew's. A little bit more. He seems to think a little bit more before he talks. And with professing to be a Christian, I mean, he still has some of those like poor takes on things. But I think overall, I can't put him in the same category as it can put Andrew Tate. I'm gonna put him up in says true things as well. And then can't forget David Goggins. Now, he's not really a masculinity influencer, but that audience has kind of made him into one. So, David Goggins is I read his book. I read my goodness, I can't remember now. Can't hurt me. Sorry. Uh, that was an excellent book. I mean, it was a little off in a couple of places, but for the most part, yeah, that was a great book. Really helped to change your mindset towards pain and discomfort and like change your entire life philosophy. David Goggins is going to go up in Says True Things. I think you have to have like something special to be in the wise category, but in terms of like physical exercise and especially mental strength, of every guy on this list, I would say David Goggins is like the king of teaching mental strength. So who should we do next? We'll do Shreds. Alan. Now Shreds is a pretty great channel too. He professes to be Christian as well, and from what I've seen of his channel, I've watched his testimony, I believe he is. And he's just, I mean, especially considering his age, he's fantastic. He's with philosophy and fitness, like fitness philosophy, that's pretty much his thing. He's great. I actually learned how to do push-ups the right way from watching Shreds. And by the way, I can link him down below. I'm going to link all of these guys, actually. I mean, I'm probably not going to give you guys a link to Sneeko, honestly. If you really want to watch Sneeko that bad, you can find him yourself. I'm not going to help you. I'm going to put Shreds in the wise category. He's going to be the first guy to go up there. And he's also like one of the youngest guys on this list. From what I know, I don't know how old Sneeko is actually. He seems like young. Also, Alan just, his beard. Man, that beard. It's fantastic. Okay, enough about him. Next we'll do another Christian. Nick Freitas. Or Freitas. I'm Portuguese, I should be able to pronounce this correctly. He's more into politics than most of the other guys on this list. Actually, politics is pretty much his main thing, especially things regarding the Constitution and gun laws, from what I see. He was also a Green Beret, so he's the other special forces guy next to David Goggins up here. And Nick Freitas, he's like that dad who's like, yeah, I gotta put him in the wise category. He's fantastic. Okay, now we got, I don't know if any of you guys have watched like are into GunTube at all, like this whole culture within YouTube, guns and all things tactical. John Lovell is one of the bigger channels on there. He's got like a couple million subscribers, I believe. He is also a Christian. You'll see I'm a bit biased on here, but it's actually true. He is what was he? He was an Army Ranger. That's what he was. So another all of these guys are doing that stuff. Anyway. Again, a family man, just like Nick Freitas was, or is, he's not, he's still alive. John Lovell, wise. I would put him out there. Also, the stuff he makes about guns and home defense, specifically preparedness, I love that kind of stuff. And yeah, I want to be him. Homestead, good family, lots of guns, and yeah, he's great. Now we're gonna do Hamza Ahmed.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Again, tough to pronounce stuff, and don't kill me if I can't. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to drop him there. This Hamza is a Muslim, I believe, like Andrew Tate professes to be. And I watched him, I had like a sort of phase, I guess, of watching him, Hamza, for a long time, like most of his channel. He was saying basically everything that Andrew Tate was saying with regards to like women and how you should live. He was basically saying you should just be with as many women as possible and all that. You've heard it. But he since kind of reformed. He made this hour-long video. It was an hour long of him just talking, completely unedited video. And I watched the whole thing. And he said, basically, he apologized for all of that. And he said, yeah, no, I was wrong. You're supposed to be with one woman, marry her, and abstain until marriage. And he said it's best to be celibate until marriage, which was like, I was like, whoa. So I loved it when he said that. I was like, that's fantastic. That's great. Says true things. Not quite making it to the wise category, but good. Okay, next. Saved him for last. Dr. Jordan Peterson. Now, I've only been watching Dr. Peterson stuff fairly recently, but I'm going to say it now, he's really, really good. He's a clinical psychologist, and the way he analyzes just the way the human mind works, I love it. I love the way he just like takes you through the process of how somebody arrives at a conclusion and enacts that in their life. And I don't know if I could call him a Christian. He says even, he hates it when people ask him that question, so I don't think I even have the right to. But he says he's terrified of the idea that there might be a God. And he says whether there is a God or not, we need to act like there is. And I believe he's absolutely correct. So, Jordan Peterson, whether or not he is a Christian, he's making it into the wise category. Now I want to see, am I content with everything I have here? I mean, I feel like there's a lot of guys to the towards the top here. Like, maybe I'm being too nice. But who? I mean, yeah, he's good. Maybe Andrew Tate is not worth your time. And Tristan Tate says some true things. I think that's better. Yeah. I think I like where this is at. I like where every guy is at. Well then, that concludes the video. So, thank you guys for sticking around if you stayed this long. If you want me to do more stuff like this, then I absolutely can. If you want me to do other kinds of videos, whatever you want, except weapon videos. Can't do weapon videos yet because YouTube is dumb. I've actually uploaded some and they took them down because I'm still a minor. I'm not 18 yet, and they won't let me do it until 18. But I'm almost 18. When I turn 18, we're gonna do weapon videos, and yeah, that's gonna be a lot of this channel. So so long, folks. Subscribe.